All right, everybody, welcome to the Spawn on Me E3 Day Zero live recap show. I am your favorite fumbler of words, Stubby Stan, aka Cicero Holmes, co-host of the Spawn on Me. As it brilliantly says on the lower third, I'm professional. I've got a group of my friends slash guests from the Spawn on Me podcast and friends all. I'm gonna start from the bottom right, I guess, with uh, let's see, Trey Andrea Russworm. She's a professor up in Massachusetts. Trey, say
Yes.
hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here on this big day, the first day of E3.
Right on, right on. And next to her is someone you may have heard if you listened to Spawn on Me episode 18 or 17. We didn't get to 18 yet. Spawn on Me episode 17. Uh, the one, the only SharifJackson.com, Mr. Sharif Jackson.
I'm on the website. Hello,
Right.
really excited. Let's talk some games.
Yes, we're gonna definitely talk some games today. Next to him is a myth and legend from the days of character select with Khalif Adams and Sharif Jackson. Um, the one, the only. He smells so fresh and so clean right now. Uh, Justin LaGrange, the 8-bit animal.
What's
Justin,
happening?
what's happening?
Because you brought up character select, I got to do this thing that I used to do on character select today. Because y'all folks been talking about Shenmue 3 for the last few weeks, I'm eating Shenmue 2 for the Dreamcast.
Oh, there it is. Oh man. There it is. He's an animal.
I'm sure Sega loves you for that.
Next to him is the guy who, again, if you listen to Spawn on Me episode 17, I read a review of the very lukewarm Watch Dogs. He was the person who wrote said review. I chopped and skewed it a little so that little spoiler babies wouldn't get their feelings hurt. But he finished it. He's a great friend of mine. Damnivus Prime, aka Dan the Robot. Mr. Daniel Moore, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here, man. I've been working. I haven't even had a chance to know you did that. But thank you. Hello, everyone. How are you?
And finally on the cast right now, on the show right now, and hopefully we've invited some more people. Maybe they'll pop up. This person was on Spawn on Me episode 16. He was our third chair. He wrote a great review of Mario Kart 8 for Geek Nation. He is Mr. Chris Clow. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, thanks for having me, you guys. It seems like we got a lot of different stuff to talk about today, which is cool.
Yeah, right on. So yeah, man, look, everybody is here. This is going to be great. I'm really excited about it. I guess first things first, we should talk about how everyone feels about the shows that they've seen in general. So like I don't know what everyone has seen so far. We really haven't even had a chance to really kind of talk about it. But I guess let's start with Chris. Chris, what have you seen?
The only presentation that I was able to watch in its entirety was Microsoft's, and I was thinking it's probably pretty safe to say that last year, and from pretty much from the Xbox One announcement on, they were kind of screwing up their messaging. Like it was hard for people to figure out why they should have as much of a, I don't know, I guess as much of a prominence in console gaming that the 360 had. They didn't really make a very big statement on what the Xbox One was going to be doing differently and what it was going to be doing better in the new generation. So their E3 presentation, they needed to do well this year, and I think pretty much that they did. It was there was a lot of different types of games, which I was happy to see, and I caught a little bit of Ubisoft and EA, and it seems like everybody's coming out of the gate swinging. So it leaves me hope for Sony and especially Nintendo tomorrow to see what they've got in the pipe.
Cool.
So to speak.
No puns intended. Dan, what did you see, and what are you ready for?
Man, I saw Microsoft. I saw, let's see, part of EA, and I saw most of Ubisoft. And let me tell you something. Microsoft came out swinging.
Right.
They were like, "Oh, last year we talked about TV and stuff and Connect. Yeah, games. Oh, and we heard you like games. How about some games? You want some games? Remember that Phantom Dust thing? Well, we got that. You know, that thing from like forever ago? We got that. It was pretty great. I really enjoyed that press conference. Ubisoft definitely never fails to delight. Every game that they announced coming out 2017.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. No joke. But you know, to drop that Tom Clancy D at the end there, that Rainbow Six announcement at the end was pretty stellar. I really enjoyed that.
Yep.
More Division, always good. The crew got me stoked. Can't even tell you. I want that crew. EA was EA. They showed some Mass Effect, which I want. They showed some Dragon Age, you know, the stuff that you expect. And they're like, check out the new faces on the hockey guys. Check out the new outfits on the football guys. And then they were done. So that's pretty much my synopsis of that. I'm excited for Sony tonight. I love that Jack Tretton has been all over the coverage. It's really good seeing him on game trailers coverage. He's fantastic. But yeah, that's what I got.
Right on. All right, 8-bit. What did you see today, and what were you excited about?
I got to see all 4 of the press conferences that happened so far.
Okay.
What was it, 4 or 3?
4.
It was 4?
Yeah, there were 4.
There were 4? Okay.
Were there?
There was just 3. It was just
there
3.
Were 3.
The 4th one is Sony. It happens later.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, EA kept talking about emotion in games, and I was wondering why I got Drake in my video games. But seriously though, Microsoft did worlds better than last year. Sunset Overdrive looks like a console seller.
Right.
Fable was gorgeous. It kind of reminds me a bit of Phantasy Star Online a little bit, with the 4-player co-op type deal and all that. It looks good. Platinum's announcement, because I kind of stand for Platinum. I have since members of Platinum were Clover Studio from Capcom.
Wow, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Platinum, so I'm kind of excited about the game that they premiered today. Ubisoft showed off a lot of really, really good stuff. That one game, Ori, the Blind Forest or something like that?
Yeah. We'll get into that kind of stuff
that looked great also.
Microsoft one. Yeah.
Microsoft did a hell of a job. Ubisoft did a hell of a job. EA was EA.
Yeah. All right, Reef. What did you get to see?
Yeah, I saw all of them.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I think that they were all in general pretty good. I mean, I wasn't severely disappointed about any of them. I was a little surprised at Microsoft's I thought they would at least mention the Connect or mention the
Next.
or like mention the cable box
Right.
like this is all R&D money that they put into this
Right.
system, and I think it kind of sucks for people that are really about like the Xbox One, because that is part of what you're spending your money on.
Yeah.
Like
Well, not after today.
yeah, like yeah, I was really surprised by that. Like I understood that Connect wouldn't be the focus anymore, but I thought that they would at least throw the developers a bone and say, "Look, we're working on this. We haven't like forgotten about you." So I was a little surprised by that. But no, I thought that like I kind of like the Halo like Master Chief stuff. I knew that was like coming, but with the beta in there, I think is just really dope, and that pretty much guarantees that people are going to buy it even if they played all the Halos.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought that they did good. EA's was okay. I mean, I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, so the little bits I got there were great, even though I am kind of still hoping that they focus less on the humans in the next one and more on one of these amazing like
Alien races.
alien races that they set up in the world.
Yeah.
My favorite was Ubi, though. I mean, not only is Aisha Tyler a far better like presenter than any of the corporate stiffs that they kind of have at the other places, but I feel like they're the only company that can show a game like Just Dance next to a game like Rainbow Six and it not look silly. Like the people
Right.
that they bring out are actually really into it and really like they just seem like they're a big enough company that their divisions well, I didn't
No pun intended.
but no, they're sections of the company.
Their divisions push back to 2015.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It just seemed like that they all really put their all into it. And yeah, I was really impressed. I thought that starting with Far Cry and ending, I totally agree. That Rainbow Six like blew me away. And I've never played a Rainbow Six game.
Oh boy.
But that game looked incredible. It kind of reminded me of that's the destructibility that I was expecting from Battlefield 4, really. Like that reminded me more of like Bad Company and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was really excited by that. Ubi, I think, like to me, has done the best job, and that Rainbow Six is my, that's what I'm kind of keeping my eye on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Trey, as you were educating the nation's youth today, what did you get to see?
Well, it is summer, so I'm not teaching, but
that's right.
It didn't stop me from grading today's presentation. I had to. It's just in me naturally. And I would have to say that I have Microsoft as sort of last here in terms of grades. I was really disappointed in Microsoft's presentation. But I really thought that agreed with Sharif that Ubisoft was fantastic. I was very excited. And then I'm going to have to do a reversal here and say EA was a notch above everybody else. Even though they're boring and even though they're a monopoly, they have The Sims 4, Mass Effect, Mirror's Edge, Dragon Age. I mean, the list goes on. The games themselves are fantastic or potentially fantastic. But more than the grades, I mean, we can talk about the grades when we talk more in depth about the actual conferences, but I will say I gave them key terms, and I gave EA the key term Showtime, because that's like sort of caliber of stuff that they had, and then I gave Ubisoft Crazy Sexy Cool, because what else? Sexy Crazy Cool, because what else can we do with all the dancing and everything else? Tom Clancy, Far Cry 4, and then I gave Microsoft Feedback / Mr. Nice Guy, because I felt that that's what Microsoft was all about. Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy and Feedback, because they kept stressing any number of times, we really have listened to you all this time. We really are paying attention, but it did feel a little superficial to me for the most part. I wasn't super excited about anything Microsoft was doing.
Yeah, so well, that was awesome. We have an edition in actually we now have two editions. One's super noisy. The other is Sharif's Operation Cubicle's his better half on his show. Miss JP Fairfield. JP, welcome to Spawn on Me. Welcome to the E3 recap. Why don't you tell us what you've been able to see and what you liked so far?
Well, I'm also on Nerdgasm Noir Network.
That's right, Nerdgasm Noir Network. Never forget those
Um,
over there.
so okay, I'm just gonna grade by how excited I felt watching um the presentations. So number one had a grade of A is Ubisoft because I actually felt excited, even though it wasn't as many games being shown as in the other ones.
Right.
They actually felt like they was excited about the games. They actually felt like, that they was more into trying to get the gamers to get into these games and find out more about them. And also they had Aisha Tyler, so come on.
Right.
And I felt like that. I don't know. I was all about trying to see more gameplay, and I kind of felt like I got that from Ubisoft a little bit more because they did a lot more of the live demos with people from the audience. Even though we know that most of that was staged, but still, give me something. I would say second is Microsoft because the amount of games I felt like they was really stressing how they was listening to the users and stuff like that. I think it was a couple games that I was really excited about, like Project Spark, Ori and the Blind Forest, Inside, Fable Legends. So that pretty much got me excited about Xbox One. EA, wah wah. Like I don't even know how you can make some of these games sound so boring. And I'm like, really, EA? You can find anybody who can act excited about these games that you're showing us. And I don't know, maybe it was just so many sequels, franchise games that they was concentrating so much on. So I was calling their presentation, oops, I did it again and again and again and again. So I really think they should have just concentrated more on their new IPs instead of having so much time dedicated to Madden and what's it? FIFA. And it was just so much time concentrating on those. We already know about those games. We already know how it's work. Just tell us about the new features in it and just be done with it.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think they were going to try to focus in on their moneymakers and stuff, which is why they made that move. Versus like the unknown wild card, which are the new IPs. But the unknown wild card is what we all want to hear about and stuff. We already, like you were saying, we already know what FIFA and the NFL game is going to be having and stuff, minus like a few extra features. Really, they don't really have very many new features. But the new IPs like evolved. We want to hear more about.
Yes.
Right.
I'm like, I don't care about audience reactions to the freaking games or, ooh, if the soccer ball hits the goal, it's gonna move. I don't care.
I don't think that's necessarily it though. I think it has a lot to do with like if you're in the middle of a fight and you're losing, you don't be like, oh wait, hold on for a second, let me fix my shirt. You just keep swinging. So it's like, hey, look at all this other shit we got. Look, dropping the price. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. And I think it was just like a Hail Mary of shit, you know what I'm saying, versus them being in a position where they were comfortable in the last generation enough to be like, yo, I can show you whatever the fuck I want because we're winning, baby.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think it was. I don't think necessarily that they did it like on purpose like that. I just think it was like, yo, I know you guys like aren't particularly loving this shit, especially with us going back on everything. Call me Baxy Waxy.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? These are the things that you guys love from last generation, the generation before that. We still have that.
Right.
So if you buy our system, this is the shit that we have versus the people that already bought it, like the early adapters that were like, yo, fuck it. You make a system, I'm going to buy it. Like, what the fuck?
I
fuck.
honestly thought that EA was going to give more time to The Sims 4.
Yes.
So I was really surprised how short that was. because that was going to be a big thing. And how are you going to mention Bruce Lee for UFC and then have it be that short? Like they should have did more gameplay with him kicking butt.
Well,
I completely feel you.
So all right. Well, why don't we do this, and why don't we talk really quickly about the EA show in general? But let me just say this about the Bruce Lee part. I really enjoyed the Bruce Lee thing that they were able to do really quickly, but I think they didn't spend a lot of time concentrating on what UFC was going to be about, because the game comes out next Tuesday. So they don't have to, expend all of the energy and money, quite frankly, to get people excited about a game that, by the time they're finished talking about this conference, by the time they get home, it will be in their stores. So they don't, they don't have to worry about ramping people up and getting people excited. The demo is out, people are playing it, people are talking about it, and feeling one way or the other about the game already. So, that's it. So in one word, let's get a letter grade. Since Trey already started the trend, what is the grade?
I didn't actually
Trey?
give my grades. Yeah.
Okay, what is the grade, Trey, that you want to give EA for their conference?
You had a preview, but it is an A.
I
don't give A pluses. I don't give A pluses, but
okay.
It's an A. I do think that I will agree with everybody that presentation-wise, EA could take some lessons from Ubisoft. They could take some lessons in the just sort of pizzazz style presentations scenario. They do need to up their game in that way. But if we just look at the list of games that EA is putting out or will be putting out, they're all games I want to play. So I may not have been excited by their tone or their atmosphere. And certainly, EA is going to get a lot of critique because the bar is high. The bar is high. It's like when you're going for your third championship in the row, everybody's going to nitpick at you. So that's where EA is. They're just in that position where they're up for a lot of critique. But I gave them an A. Those are games I want to play: Mirror's Edge, The Sims, Mass Effect, Dragon Age.
Okay. Tony, what did you give EA in their press conference? Letter grade.
I didn't see the EA preview, the EA conference and stuff just yet. I was still checking out the Microsoft, but just based off of some of the games that I've seen them like Mirror's Edge and stuff, I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a strong improvement from the last Mirror's Edge game.
What I'll do for everyone that may have not seen the EA press conference, I'm gonna quickly run down all of the games that they showed. So they started with Star Wars Battlefront kind of montage, no gameplay, just people walking around talking about how they can use assets now because they can go to LucasArts and make the game. Then they did a Dragon Age Inquisition trailer where they had some woman come out with this badass cello and play over it as they just showed a lot of the gameplay footage. To me, in one of my notes, I said it looked a lot like Oblivion, and it featured the only what looked like main black character in any of the games. I think EA has, I think the sidekick in the Battlefield game in Hardline is also like a black dude.
Yeah.
But Vivian,
Latino, but yeah.
Yeah, Vivian was the only black character that I saw all day.
Yeah.
So props to Dragon Age and the people over at BioWare for that. Then we got.
What about the faceless black guy from Crackdown?
Oh yeah, that's right.
and the faceless Asian guy and the faceless Hispanic guy.
Right. Oh.
Random black guy in
How about it's your quadrilogy of tropes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I think there were some people like that.
They
too.
trope tight.
Yeah, sports games don't count. So then we had a quick.
Sports games don't count.
Yeah, sports games don't count. Mass Effect, we had a quick Mass Effect talk about how the Mass Effect sequel will be made in Montreal, and then the guys over at BioWare in Edmonton are going to be doing something new, but we don't know what that is yet. Then there was Sims 4. Sims 4 will be out September 2nd. Lots of really cool stuff. The thing that was noticeable to me was you can create lots of different types of Sims. So they took to making a simulation Obama. So Simbama.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Some
All
big
right,
eaters.
hashtag Simbama.
Simulation was on purpose, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then after that was the UFC title with they featured Bruce Lee. Then the NHL where they showed a CG trailer. And then Criterion came out and was like, "Hey, we've got a really great idea for a game, but that's all we've got. It's gonna be awesome because we make great games, which they do, but I mean, it was like this is super early. Like last week we determined that we were gonna make a game, so." Then
first person racing game.
Right. Then PGA Tour came out, said, "Hey, we don't have a game this year. We're going to have a game next year, but next year's game you'll be able to play golf in Battlefield 4 environments."
I feel like everybody should have came out with a disclaimer that was like, yeah, we're gonna try to get it out this year, but yeah, I'm not gonna make any promises. It should be out eventually, unless it's what the fuck is that game that everybody's waiting on to come out?
The Division?
Yeah, unless it's the Division. Like
it'll be 3 years.
Yeah.
So then after PGA Tour was Madden 15. They've got defense now. They play defense in football. And then there was Dawngate, which is a MOBA, some new IP from these guys. FIFA, Mirror's Edge.
Which looked beautiful, by the way. I feel like we need a moment of silence for that shit.
Mirror's Edge looked really, really good. But who knows when that's coming out? FIFA 15, which will be out this year. They showed a CG trailer for that, and then they finished it up with BF Battlefield Hardline. Really, actually, to be honest, I'm kind of down on the Battlefield franchise because of everything that's been going on. But I gotta call a spade. That looked incredible. The trailer that they put out for that one. And if you've got a PS4 and not a PC, or you'll be able to actually get the Battlefield beta keys for Hardline starting today.
I signed up. We'll see if I get it.
Yeah. Sharif's mad right now because he signed up for the PC one.
Live gameplay, hopefully coming soon.
So all right. So having said all that, now Tony, now that you've known what it is, what's your grade? One letter. What do we got?
I'm gonna have to hold off on giving it a grade until I see all the trailers. I want to make sure that when I do, it's a good fair grade based on presentation, based on the lineup, and based on the information really given during for each game and stuff like that.
Right on. So all right, Reef, what do you got?
I'll give them a B minus. I agree with Trey. Like, if I just read the list of games, the games are awesome. But I'm grading it as a presentation in terms of how things were delivered, how excited they look to talk about some stuff, and like how boring they made these awesome games look.
Yeah.
So I do give him props for ending on Hardline and saying that the beta is available now. I thought that that was pretty cool. I am interested in a lot of those games. Plus, they killed a sim, so
right. He literally died laughing.
Yeah, and
at a party,
an old lady. So
right, yeah, that old lady kicked his ass.
yeah, exactly.
So, welcome to the show, Odie. Odie, unanimous.
Thank you.
On Xbox Live and on Twitter. Everyone follow him. Thanks for coming to the show. And what would you give a grade for EA for their EA press conference? What grade would you give them?
I joined the conference a little late. The first thing that I saw was them playing The Sims, and then from there on, so I didn't see the Dragon Age. But overall, it was definitely better than previous EA. I was totally expecting generic sports guy to come out. I'll just grab any player that'll have him. definitely didn't see Drake there. But in overall, just across all three companies, I like that. You know, I know it's the year of the gamer, as everyone's kind of putting it. You know, thanks to Sony last year, kind of killing it. Now everyone's like, oh, apparently hardcore gamers are the people that we want to attract. But EA, I would say I'd give them a solid B. Sims doesn't do much for me, but my fiance lives and dies by it.
Right.
But Battlefield Hardline, as soon as he said open beta, sign up now, I went to this site that was broken because I'm pretty sure a million other people are trying to join it. It said that I got in, but I haven't received any emails, so my fingers crossed. You know, if I do get in, I'll definitely be giving my impressions of it. But it looks amazing from what I saw.
Nice. Justin, what would you give in letter grade? What would you give EA's press conference?
I'd probably give them a B-, C+.
Okay.
And that's mainly because, you know, like everybody said, like everybody's been saying, EA had good content out there for the most part,
right? But
it was just given to us like a plain piece of white bread.
Right.
There was nothing to really excite me. Also, the random plants they had in the crowd that just kept squeeing every time.
Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous.
Oh god.
What the fuck was that?
Just to interject, I said, did anybody else hear that crazy lady laughing during the EA conference?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was out of control. It was out of control. JP, what grade would you give EA? I know you were kind of all over the board with them.
No, I wasn't all over the board. I was just like, y'all need to step it up. I'm sorry, I believe in quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
So they get a C- because I'm tired of this. I'm really tired, EA, of you being born as all get out.
Okay.
And
C-.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would have rather them concentrate on their new IPs because everybody else was trying to push their franchise games. If they would have, pushed out the new games that they was bringing out to show, hey, we are on top, that we don't have to push out our forever games, then I would have been all set with them. And how can you be so uninspired about your own games?
Right.
I'm just, it wasn't doing it for me.
Right. Esper Kid Goku, if you're there, what grade would you give EA's conference?
I want to tell the truth and tell you that I was at work all day and all I got to do was watch the Microsoft one.
Fair enough.
From what I saw, I guess it just all boils down to presentation. Like I would have to wait until I get home. It's my slave day, by the way, so I've been here since 9, and I'm gonna be here till 11.
Somebody give Esper Kid Goku his free. Give him his free.
But as far as the games are concerned, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about the stuff that I saw at the Microsoft conference, and I was excited. Like JP was saying, like about all of the people like just showing their hardcore things. We had another room open, and we were talking in there, and I feel like that was the only thing that they could do. Like, if you're in that position, like you want more money versus the true money, because obviously when they show you that first party thing, people are gonna buy it, but they're like, no, we have other things going on too for the extra people that are like sitting on the fence, like show me something I like, ooh, there goes something I like. You want them to get off the fence, and I feel like that's what it was about. It was about, all right, last year we made you guys a ton of promises, we told you guys a ton of shit that we were gonna do, and a lot of it didn't pan out the way we wanted it to. But this year, we're going to tell you about other stuff. So now they've turned off their hardcore gamers. They're like, I know you guys are sitting on a fence. You didn't walk across the yard. You just walked over to the sidewalk. And all we need to do is not fuck up for like 6 months and say something's coming out today and let it come out today, and we'll have you guys back.
Right.
So as long as they stick to their guns and they don't put out something that they showed us now, like if fucking what was a good one? Like if The Division comes out in 2017, like I'm just gonna kill everybody. Like, I don't give a shit. It's Armageddon in my general vicinity. Like from what I saw, I just fell in love. I fell in love right when the mini map came out at the beginning of the trailer. I was like, nope, take my money now. Like, why can't I fucking preload this? I want this right now. Like, just give me the broken beta, just now.
So, Dan, what's your EA grade?
So I'm having like a little bit of technical issues on my network here. So if I cut out again, I apologize. I'll be trying to get back on as soon as possible.
No problem, Tony.
I'd give them a C. You know, they opened up with like, okay, so this is what they did. They said, here's all these franchises that we put out every year. Look at the new skins on stuff.
Right.
Like, that was the press conference. And they're like, here's some concept art for Mirror's Edge. Woo!
Right.
No, it was more like, this is why we chose black and white, and then we want to accent it with red.
Yeah,
red.
and then it was, look at this trailer for Mass Effect that really isn't a trailer at all. I mean, okay, we got to give it up for Dragon Age. Okay, we can give it up for Dragon Age. Right. I'm good with that. But everything was either, this thing doesn't actually exist, or here's this thing that's around every fucking year. And then I gotta drop it down. To a C- for no new Garden Warfare, because right now that's my jam. I don't care what anybody says. That game is catching on. I'm like, what? No, I love that game, so that's okay.
So C-.
Have you found the Slender Man in Plants vs. Zombies yet?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I love that game. I adore that game. Cicero can tell you. I'm always like, you play, and he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. But yeah, you know, honestly, you know, I'll take away that minus. I'll give them a good solid C. But yeah, they really disappointed.
So Chris, what do you give EA for their show?
All right. Well, I have to qualify this a little bit because, well, first of all, look at me. I'm a white guy with thick glasses. I have a lightsaber in my closet.
So wait, you're saying you're cool? Is that what you're leading with?
Oh man, where were you when I was in high school, man? I needed a friend. I'll tell you that much. But so my heart was broken when LucasArts went under. So the promise of more Star Wars Battlefront takes them from the level of it, because I was kind of hoping for maybe a peek at the next DLC pack for Titanfall, which they didn't even give, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Yeah, not a clue.
That'll be on the show floor.
The promise of more Battlefront, especially the peak of how specific they're going in all the props and the models and the locations, especially. I really, really like the very small taste of what we're seeing from DICE on Star Wars Battlefront. So, you know, what would have been a C might actually bump up to a B just because I'm starved. We've been talking, or Star Wars fans have been talking about Battlefront 3 since Battlefront 2. You know, and that was an original Xbox game. That came out like at the same time as Revenge of the Sith. So I'm really, really excited for the possibility of new Battlefront, especially since the Star Wars machine is about to get kicked into gear in a whole new way that we've probably never even seen before.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, where do you think we are? Because, okay, DICE is making Battlefront, right?
Right.
And they're making Mirror's Edge, and look what we got. We got almost nothing from both of them, and they're still trying to dig themselves out from Battlefield 4.
Right.
So we're talking about a developer right now that's kind of under a mountain of shit, trying to put out 2 new games.
3.
So
Three, because they're also doing the multiplayer for Battlefield Hardline.
So
yeah, we never seen this game.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We have to take everything with a grain of salt at this point, right? We're talking about games that people want that aren't coming out for 2 years.
Right. So let's
coming out 2 weeks after Detox.
Right. So let's talk stats. So at the EA press conference, they showed 13 games. Of those 13 games, 5 of them were sports titles, one of which is coming out next week. So these are annualized sports franchises, so that's 5 of them. So you're talking 8 games now. that give them a chance to really talk about something fresh, new, other franchises and that kind of stuff. There were 3 titles of those 8 that will be released this year: Dragon Age, Sims 4, and Battlefield, which now has become an annualized franchise. You might as well move it into the EA Sports category. So for me, I was least impressed of the 3 conferences that I saw today. I was least impressed by what EA was able to put out there. I was excited for the future of what EA has, because like Chris, Star Wars Battlefront is something very exciting to me. Obviously I love Mass Effect. I love what BioWare does. So seeing another franchise from them, that would be great. I love what Criterion does. So seeing another franchise from them would be great as well. But we don't know when those things are going to come out. So part of the issue with this particular E3 is giving, or at least what the call should have been, the rallying cry should have been for all the publishers and all the software makers should be: give people compelling reasons to go out and spend $500 or $400 on new consoles so this holiday season. And they really, in my eyes, they really didn't. Dragon Age is great. So maybe if you're a really big Dragon Age fan, you're going to go out there. The Sims is a PC game, so you're going to play your Sims on your PC. You're not going out and buying anything. And Battlefield is yet another Battlefield game. So for me, it was probably a C, maybe like a 73.
Really?
So
Give them a numerical.
yeah, I'm gonna give them a numerical. I changed shit up. But
points.
They've got great ideas. They're great games that are potentially coming down the pipe. They're just not here yet. But let's move on to, I guess, is kind of a good segue to talk about games that aren't here yet and talk about Ubisoft's conference. And let's, I guess, quickly, Chris, what did you think of Ubisoft's conference? What was the letter grade that you would give them, and what are the 2 games that you're excited about? Go.
I'm really excited about Assassin's Creed. I think that the concept just of the gameplay footage that we saw from that game alone is really, really cool. And I've never actually been into Assassin's Creed all that much. The only game that I played was Assassin's Creed 2, so I'm actually looking for kind of a new opportunity to jump into that franchise and see really what it's all about. And the concept of maybe jumping in with friends is really attractive to me. And both the Tom Clancy games actually looked really impressive. But Division looked more impressive. I was wowed as soon as I saw. I think, like Esper said, the mini map show up on the screen and just
the best shit ever.
Wasn't
like when
it
you see the
awesome?
brawl drop off, right? It was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, just got real.
Yeah, exactly. And the weird sort of crime scene quasi interaction. They did something like that in Arkham Origins, but it wasn't nearly that cool.
Right.
Because we're talking new hardware too. But those 2 games are probably what have me the most excited about what they have to offer going forward.
All right, let's move it. Oh, what grade would you give them? Would you constitute a grade?
Probably a B. I mean, those 2 were clearly the standout. So, but they were pretty strong. So they didn't really trip as far as I'm concerned. If you have one that is strong and then you have others that just sort of fall by the wayside, that's more like C territory. But the fact that they had 2, and Rainbow Six just looks rad too. I mean, that's a really strong showing. No, I haven't really played a compelling hostage-based FPS since I was on CS Source all the time with my friends in high school. So the fact to see that evolve looks really cool.
Can I ask a really quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Chris. How do you feel about the way that they actually demonstrated Assassin's Creed, like with everybody dropping in one by one, do you think that made you more excited? Because I know when I saw the first guy pop up, I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, 2 people. That's pretty dope. Are they? Oh shit, there was another one. Okay, hold on, wait a second. Okay, now it's all 4 of us. This guy never fucking stood a chance. And then when they were all in the room above him, nah, it's over with, son. It's over with.
The fact that you're able to have to coordinate tactics with friends and do so in like a covert kind of way is really, really awesome to me. And I mean, like, the covert sections of the Arkham games are probably my favorite, and the fact that you are sort of taking that but just like amping it way up and obviously going way more lethal, and you're able to do that in a co-op fashion with more than just one friend, yeah, that's fucking incredible. I can't wait to try that.
Yeah, I think Cicero played something on Spawn on Me today, the one that I was listening to, gave you that same like feeling, like he was playing Watch Dogs and didn't have to shoot, but knowing that if he shot, that his bullets would all meet their target. It gives you a different sense of like power, I think. So in a lot of games, you just feel overpowered, like what the fuck. But in like the way that they showed it on there, it was like subtle. It was like, all right, cool. Now I can be an assassin, I can sneak around, but when it's time to throw down, you know, my counter system's in there. I can be in a room full of fucking enemies and it'd be me and 3 of my best friends, and we don't have to worry about one of us dying. Everybody can hold their own. And I think that's that little subtle thing that you see in some games that really like gives you that smile factor, like, hey, check this out, all right, everybody, 3, 2, 1, go. And then everybody can just like, all of us are badasses.
Yeah, when intense power is given just like a little bit of plausibility, you don't overstate how powerful you can be, then you oddly enough feel more powerful than you might feel if you're like throwing tanks through walls or something with your bare hands.
And that's what I love about it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So Esper, what would you give Ubi's press conference?
Same thing. I didn't see anything. I sat down for that entire however long it was to watch the Microsoft one. So I'm just going off of what I saw from there. I don't know if they dived into some of the other stuff a little bit better.
Right.
But I mean, from what I saw, like I said, I'm gonna go probably B, because like I said, I'm a very strong believer. Anybody that knows me, I'm hoping that you know me well enough to know that I just can't stand a HUD. And seeing the Division and with their little minimal HUD, like, all right, all I need is bullets. You know what I'm saying? All I need is bullets and grenades, really. Give me a crosshair and I'm good. And when they were like, all right, cool, I'll show you where it is, and I saw that fucking map go down him and spread out on the floor, I just threw my hands up in the air like, oh shit just got real. Shit just got real. Like, I fucking love it. And it's that feeling of, you know, like incorporating it into your environment that I appreciate in a game, due to the fact that I just can't stand all this shit on the screen.
Right.
And it's just, if they continue to do that in other games, then I'm stoked. Like the first time that you didn't have that objective on the screen in like Splinter Cell, when it was like up against the wall in whatever game that was, I was like, oh, that's
Convictions.
What's up. Yeah, Conviction. I bought that shit, and me and my wife sat in front of it and played that shit, and every time it popped up on the screen, I was yelling. And she's like, would you shut up? And I'm like, yo, no, it says infiltrate the base. You don't understand. It says infiltrate the base, and it's not in that big, thick white lettering in the middle of the screen. It was like really covert, so that you didn't come out of playing the game, which is why I'm paying that $60 day one, so that I can be included in that. I work a lot of hours at my job. It is very stressful, and when I come home and I play Splinter Cell, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. I'm Sam Fisher. Stop talking to me. I'm Sam Fisher. Now, I have a wife that completely understands that. So, like I was saying in the other room, like when BioShock came out, I beat BioShock in a week. She knew when I came home, I took a shower, I sat down, feed me, make sure I have something to drink, and tell me when it's time to go to sleep so I don't be late for work. And we did that for a week. And after that week, I was done with it. I need to beat this so I can play Tomb Raider. Same thing. And that week, I beat it. I need to beat this so I can play Gears of War. Same thing. And I just knocked them out just like that. We got a regiment, and that's why I married her. Hey, that's exactly why I married her. So to that aspect, I mean, I appreciate what they're doing. They're not just like not putting out good games because they feel comfortable, like what you were speaking out in the cast. Like everybody is gonna buy 2K. We don't have to try as hard. No. Like EA is continuing to like put out those games. I just wish they didn't take so long to develop everything and then polish it up, and then I have to have this anxiety, like, is it gonna be a turd or is it gonna be gold? Is it gonna be a turd or is it gonna be gold?
So, all right, Dan, what would you give Ubisoft?
Well, first of all, I'm going to put my negative right out front.
Okay, sure.
I don't need a United Colors of Bennington ad where everybody is a different color, but they somehow still look white, all holding
Right.
phones, dancing all over
Right.
the auditorium.
Right,
I
right.
don't care about that. I don't care.
I almost turned off the feed when I saw that.
It was terrible. It's like, hey everybody, welcome to the neon clothing store. Grab your phone. Like, I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care about the push-up machine thing that they were doing. I will
Right.
say that I like that they're still using some Kinect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
I happen to be a very large proponent of the Kinect, so that made me feel good.
yeah.
Let me go on to the good stuff. I really, really did enjoy looking at the crew.
Yeah.
I thought the crew looked really awesome. I wish I could have gotten more. You know, they did like a quick montage, which is basically what EA should do with like their sports titles. Just
Right.
mash them all into a montage and just be like done with it. They did that, so I was a little let down. I wanted to see more of that. But all in all, that was cool. Both Tom Clancy games. I was listening to Michael Pachter earlier, and he was saying they would be foolish not to launch a Rainbow Six game or announce a Rainbow Six game because it's been too long. And what do you know? The last thing, Rainbow Six. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the Division. I want to talk a little bit about Far Cry.
Okay.
Because, as we all know, a month ago, there was a bunch of outcry
Racist.
over Far Cry. And I could see people's point, but also what they were doing is they were setting up a villain. They were
Right.
setting up a villain.
Yeah.
To me, it was very out there.
Mhm.
To others, it may not have been, and that's okay because they didn't say anything. It was just here's cover art.
Right.
So to me, they're setting up a villain, and now we got to see that villain. And
Mhm.
boy, is that person nasty. And
Right.
I really like that. That's what I like about the last Far Cry, and I like about this Far Cry. You're dealing with some people that are messed up, are good enemies, and you're excited to be on the good side of that.
Yeah, good point.
And I really, really enjoyed that. I think they did a really good job with their trailers. I think Aisha Tyler did a great job. It was a cohesive experience. It was funny. They get a real solid B from me.
Nice, very nice.
Man,
Jay,
just a quick question.
yeah, sure, sure.
I know everyone said on the cover that the guy looks like he's white, but from the trailer that I saw, especially when he took the selfie, and obviously the character you're playing is just generic male white dude.
Right.
The main villain looks to me like he might be Himalayan. He just maybe whitewashed himself.
Right.
So
And they've come out and said it as much.
okay.
Officially has come out and said he's not white.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they darkened him up a little bit in the trailer. I think they
Right.
kind of felt the backlash of
Right.
that pale guy on the cover, and they were like, I don't know, we're French, we don't get it.
Right.
So
Right.
It's funny.
they're like, let me alpha that.
Which I think is one part of the problem is that because they're foreigners, which is something I noticed with Watch Dogs. Any place, I don't know who else has played it, but you can check into places.
Right.
Anything south of the loop is murder something. Death,
Right.
After a while, I just got just as a resident of Chicago, I got offended. Like I know we're the #1 murder city in the world, but it's just like,
Right.
dude, we get it. We need to, and especially because. And we know that the South Side is rough, but
Right.
we don't need foreigners to.
Are you telling me that the south side of Chicago doesn't have two black guys rapping at each other on every corner? I can't believe that. I lived there for 12 years. I don't know.
Right. It's
And I
not
think
like
that
all
that
the
is-
crime is on one side of the city.
Right.
Like honestly, if they wanted to if they wanted to make it realistic, then they should have had met heads, on the north side of the
Right.
city.
But that's the thing. We're not talking about it because it's something that happened. I feel like we're talking about it because it's so over fucking saturated, and it's like that's not how it is. Like if it was a little bit, or a meth head, then a crackhead, then a rapper, then a meth head, then a crackhead, then a rapper, nobody would say shit. But it's like every fucking corner apparently is
Right.
like fucking black people fucking robbing each other like a fucking electric slide. Like what the fuck is going on? This is some
Also,
bullshit.
where are the hipsters? I demand hipsters in the game so I can run them over and beat them.
Right.
Yeah.
Aisha Tyler is the only redeemable black character in that game, and you can only spy on her and see her on the street.
Exactly. So, JP, what did you think of Ubisoft's press conference?
Okay, so I guess I'll just give my grade out now.
Okay.
I would give them like a A minus because of the fact that they seem excited about all their games.
Hmm.
Um, I was okay. So even though Assassin's Creed Unity looked gorgeous, and the
Right.
fact that you have four assassins wrecking shop everywhere,
Hmm.
the fact that they said, "Oh, we have four characters," and I was like, "White man number one and two and three and four."
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
wow,
Oh, but
I'm
now
so
it's okay to
excited.
murder people. Now it's okay to murder people because they got hoods on.
I
But
know.
when he had a hood on, some completely different shit.
Right.
Just to be fair, I mean, I guess it's the sign of where they are. I'm not a history buff, but it would for that setting, it makes sense for everyone just to be
Not
fighting.
Well, it's the French Revolution. So yeah.
right,
So, I mean,
but
yeah,
that
that's
doesn't mean that there was no people of
There's a lot
color
of black
walking
French.
around.
There's a lot of
Right.
black French.
Right.
I mean, it's
Glance at history. I'm not 100%. As I'm not a history buff, so I'm not. What you guys say, I'll take you at your word. I just didn't know. Just from everything, at least video-wise, that you see, it's just in Europe, everyone's white.
Right. Well, Alexander Dumas had a really good tan. He's the writer of the Three Musketeers.
right.
Um,
Nice
Absolutely.
dark tan.
so yeah, exactly.
Plus, didn't we just get
he had a really
an
good tan.
Assassin's Creed game? It's set in Chicago. Do we need another one?
Right, exactly. Yeah, you know.
And
So,
also,
yeah.
I was kind of confused that in a setting of Paris, there wasn't more French accents.
Well, I mean, you know,
Which is weird for an Ubisoft game.
okay, right? Since
Yeah, it's true.
King of the French, maybe because we saw a vertical slice of it, and they knew that they knew where they were bringing it. They didn't want to give it the Assassin's Creed 2 treatment where the guys spoke, they spoke the broken Italian, where they actually spoke Italian in portions and then spoke English. I think when the game actually finally comes out, that we'll see there'll be a lot of French in it because it'll just be it'll be a no-brainer for Ubisoft.
So instead of like a Mario version of Italian, we're gonna get a Pepe Le Pew version of French.
Yeah, right.
What I did appreciate is that I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention to the time, concentrating on each game, but I felt like they gave a good equal amount of time for each game. So they wasn't concentrating on just quote unquote hardcore gamers like Shape Up, that was I like how they did the live demo for that. That actually made me interested in it, even though I don't exercise. Also, I was super excited.
Ubi's always been good at that, though. They're always good at giving equal time, I think.
Yeah, I was really excited about Valiant Hearts.
Yeah.
I want to play that.
Me too.
I want to play that
Yep.
so badly. It hurts. And I like the fact that Division was pretty good. So I feel like they did pretty good in the demonstration for all the games. I felt like it was a little bit of something for every type of gamer. So that's pretty much why I was giving them an A minus, because they wasn't just saying, okay, we're gonna concentrate on these type of gamers. Everybody else,
Right.
good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Justin. What did you think of Ubisoft's conference?
Well, I'll pretty much would give them a A minus, B plus, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
For a lot of the same reasons that everyone else was given. They were enthusiastic about their presentation. They didn't just focus on Assassin's Creed. Give a bulk of their time to Assassin's Creed or a bulk of their time to Rainbow Six, stuff like that. And the fact that they did announce a new Rainbow Six, I'm not a big first-person shooter fan. I don't run out and buy first-person shooters day one, but the Rainbow Six did look pretty good. the division looked really, really good because the division looked, it looked different from your standard first-person shooter.
Right.
And
Well,
it had
third
me.
person.
Third person, yeah.
Well, there you go. I might be confusing it with another game that I was looking at during the Microsoft presser. I may have been confusing it with that, but yeah, the division looks good, and the whole pandemic thing, and it feels really good. Valiant Hearts, yeah. Ubisoft's, their non-traditional Ubisoft stuff, the stuff that doesn't feel like the rest of the stuff that they're putting out right now, like Child of Light. When I saw the art style for Valiant Hearts, and I thought about it, and it looked like, it kind of reminded me of Rayman. It reminded me of Child of Light.
Yeah.
It excited me.
Mm-hmm.
And that trailer that they showed conveyed emotion, and it conveyed good emotion, not just shock and awe, ooh, ah, big guns, big explosions emotion.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
That game will probably be purchased.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So Odie, what did you think of Ubisoft's conference? What grade would you give it? What game are you excited about?
Overall, I'd probably give it a B to a B plus, just simply because it was concise. I didn't have too many games, but it was just one company doing a whole show.
Right.
The Just Dance, I couldn't care less because I'm a Dance Central person myself.
Yeah.
But what I really liked, it's what Justin was just talking about, Valiant Hearts, and how Ubi seems to be like the company that sort of embraces their teams, letting them go off and do something creative. So we saw that with Child of Light. And Rayman started off as just being something random. Far Cry Blood Dragon, which we saw last time. So Valiant Hearts looks really good, especially because I have a soft spot for dogs. Far Cry looks great, at least from what they showed. Given how good Far Cry 3 looks, I have no doubt that Far Cry 4 trailer was all gameplay.
Sure.
I've been interested in the crew simply for the sheer size of the world. I would pay $60 just to take 2.5 hours to drive across the country.
Yeah.
But the Rainbow Six looked incredible. Just especially when they first went through the house and they're walking through and then bullet holes come out of the wall. It's just insane. So that's definitely something that's gonna be on my radar. But come November 11th, Halo and the crew are gonna be joining the pile of games that I can't play.
Right.
Let's not even talk about Halo yet. We're getting to that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still down the ways.
Yeah, Reef, where are you? Where are you on Ubisoft?
I'll give them an A-. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think conferences can really go much better than this in terms of the variety of games, in terms of a great presenter. I think outside of having something big like a console launch or something, doesn't get too much better than this. I mean, I don't play Just Dance a ton.
Right.
It's a fun game, and I think that the multiplayer thing is pretty awesome. Because
what did you think about the mobile app thing?
Yes.
Just Dance?
I thought it looked cool. I mean, I'm still not sure about exactly how it works.
Right.
But I'm just thinking of those situations where I've been at parties or this kind of local gaming bar where like people are like queuing up for these games and they have this kind of limit of people. I mean, I think it's a great kind of social, really innovative thing.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. So I think that Ubi really kind of goes from the traditional games to these kind of quirky games. And yeah, I mean, Rainbow Six, I mean,
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
I mean, when that dude was like, "Yo, I'm gonna breach the ceiling," like I was like, "What?"
Okay, so
I can't even wait.
Can I ask a quick question? Do you feel like they're like with the latest games that they show that they're trying to go more towards more teamwork, collaboration in their shooters and games?
Yes, I do think that's one thing that got me excited about the Assassin's Creed part. And like I know that they showed the multiplayer part during Microsoft, technically not in theirs, but there's been like what 6, 7 Assassin's Creed games, so
Right.
I wasn't really looking forward to being excited about anything aside from the graphic upgrade on next gen. But yeah, I think that for me, teamwork is one reason that can get me excited about a game. I mean, like that's one reason why I always sided more with Battlefield than Call of Duty. That's something that I think part of it too is because I'm in my 30s and that whole Twitch gaming solo wolf thing I just can't do anymore. So the team gaming stuff is like dope. So like yeah, I do think that they're doing more of that. Even the Crew, which I have absolutely no interest in. I mean, I'm not really a racing game. Well, I'm not a racing game buy full price person. Like I'll buy it when it's cheap. But even that, I mean, got me excited. I mean, so yeah, I don't think it gets much better than this. I give them a minus because as a Nintendo fan. Come on, y'all.
I'm sorry, who? I don't know who that is.
Right,
Like a
right,
software
exactly.
maker?
I mean, can we
Do
get
they make
one announced Wii U game?
Oh man, Eve said he ain't rocking with Nintendo because because Zombie U didn't push big numbers.
Yeah, it didn't do well. I mean, listen. Reggie tried his best to make that game work for the Wii U, and it just didn't work. But I heard it was actually pretty good. I didn't play it because nobody buys Wii U.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
It was just just a low install base.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a good purpose.
So Trey, what grade did you give it?
I gave it a B plus. I definitely thought that I agree with a lot of what people have said. There were nice spread of games. I love the emphasis on teamwork. I'm a little exhausted by the Assassin's Creed franchise. I just think that they have EA'd that franchise. It's too hard. I don't know anybody who's played all of them and knows what the hell is going on in any of them. And I think that is a problem. I think they need to stop making that game until they can make one that is actually fully coherent narrative-wise, because they've been doing some crazy, weird, confusing, not fun stuff at times, but they kind of get a pass because the game is beautiful. It is fun to stab people. I don't know. My only complaint about it every time I saw Unity footage was that I kept thinking we have to have a woman. We have to have a woman as a part of that brotherhood. I want to play as a woman within a team. Please don't make me do this. Please give us a woman. So I kept tweeting about that today, and someone was like, what about Aveline? As far as I know, she would be dead, but maybe, somehow she can be in there. So anybody, just give us a new character. There are women in the French Revolution. There are women in the French Revolution. We can have that. So I'm really hoping, high hopes, that they do something with strong female leads, NPCs, and when you're playing in co-op, multiplayer, teamwork modes. So that's how I felt about Assassin's Creed. It, in general, kind of exhausts me. They have because yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony. Oh, okay. Tony's going again.
Oh, I was
going to
say, it's funny
yeah, I was just
because
going to say, they have been getting a pass.
Go ahead, Tony.
Lord.
Oh, he's gone again.
He's gone again.
All right.
Well, Trey, start talking, and then he'll
come back. Especially if I say the same thing again too.
Right.
Which is they even getting a pass on some sketchy stuff in Assassin's Creed, and they need to take more time basically with that franchise. That's how I feel. Please stop bringing it out every year. The Crew, I am a racing fan. I love driving games. I'm excited for it because of the size of the map, but it did look a little too arcadey to me. I would love for something in that vein to be a little more realistic. You don't have to go all the way Gran Turismo, realistic in terms of driving mechanics, but it did look the cars looked a little too small. The camera distance looked a little off to me, but I'm going to try it because I do like racing games. I think Aisha Taylor made that that whole conference, which is why the grade is so high to me. It was crazy, sexy, cool. I mean, Ubisoft, as JP has said, makes their games exciting because they have a lot of passion for them. I think they do a lot of good things with their community and getting gamers and other people involved and kind of hyping their stuff up. I think that's very healthy and very good. So, overall, yeah, it was definitely a B+. Nice spread of games. We'll see what they do with Assassin's Creed.
Can I ask a question?
I did also love Valiant Hearts too. That is a tearjerker in the making. I could tell something's gonna happen to that dog. That poor dog.
Sorry I got cut off earlier. I was going to say in response to having more female assassins in Assassin's Creed, it's actually funny historically. Females have made much, much better and efficient assassins than male characters and stuff. So I'm surprised that Ubisoft hasn't utilized that historic reference.
Well, Tony, you know what? That comment was well worth the wait. So thank you very much for making it. Esper, you had a question.
Yeah, really quick. What could have they shown that would have gave them an A if you were sitting at a B+? Like, what could have tipped you over? Like you.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. You know what? The one thing they could have done that would have made me even more excited was more of Aveline. Give me some. I love that character. I felt like the original PS Vita version of Assassin's Creed Liberation with her was underrealized, and then when they ported it, it really sucked. And so I need something else, more DLC, something with that character. That's really the only thing they could have done for me to be excited. Maybe a whole new IP, for example.
Print it.
Oh man. So,
nice.
All right.
Nice.
So for me, I would give Ubisoft a B+ also. If people who are here and all the viewers, if you guys listen to the show, you know that I love to hate and love to love Ubisoft. That Far Cry stuff looks amazing. Far Cry 3 was amazing. Just Dance is cool. I never play that because I am a Dance Central guy. By the way, Subnostications, I was right.
Respect.
You'll see it in the show. And then the Division at the Microsoft trailer, at the Microsoft presser, the Division trailer that they showed there was the most amazing piece of game footage I had ever seen in terms of just being like realistic looking. So again, amazing. But who the fuck knows when that game is going to come out? I mean, really, let's really be honest. They put 2015.
I give it a year plus or minus 18 months.
They put 2015 on there. I have no faith whatsoever that game is going to come out in 2015.
Do you like that?
Unless they mean
canned VO?
like 2015 December 31st at 11:49.
Right, 11:59 and 59 seconds.
That's right.
I love that canned VO. Oh, we have people on the right.
Right.
Let's hide behind this thing.
Yeah,
Let me zoom out my guy.
Yeah, the scripts to that are horrible.
This could have made
what's
for me.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about that yet.
Yeah.
But
that would have made it an A for me also. If we
Okay. Yeah.
I would have gave him Perfect Sword
Yeah.
if they would
Yeah.
put Beyond Good and
Yeah.
Evil.
I'm
that
surprised.
was
I'm
a lot.
surprised IGN hasn't run a Beyond Good and Evil 2 canceled.
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Then a retraction.
Kind of like they did the last Guardian.
Yeah, well, that's coming up in Sony's. We'll try and get to that really quickly. So the Crew, I love. I can't wait to play that game. I'm super excited for that. It definitely does look arcadey, but I'm excited to play that. I am probably the biggest Rainbow fan of any of the people that you'll ever meet in your entire life. So to hear that Rainbow Six is coming back is great, except for the fact that, again, who the fuck knows when it's going to come out? Because all they did, because that Rainbow Six Patriots looked amazing, but, that never saw the light of day, and I will believe this Rainbow when I see it. Like, when I'm able to download it or, it's guaranteed, it's gone gold, that's when I'll be excited for a new Rainbow game. But until then, just whatever. All right,
Shit's not real, son. Shit's not real.
So So we've been talking a lot. We've got 12 minutes before, or 14 minutes before the Sony press conference starts. So I wanna get to, and we've got 3 more conferences to get through. I want, in a word, everyone, in a word, give me the game you want to see at the Nintendo conference. Trey, what do you got?
I would like to see a very grown-up, very cool Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus. All right.
It's on my wish list. It's on my wish list.
2 words.
It's on my wish list.
Tony, what you got?
The Last Guardian. I've been waiting for that game.
Last Guardian can't come out for Nintendo. We're talking about Nintendo.
Nintendo. Oh, my bad.
If you need to write something in, why it's something so much?
Man, mute your mic, Jack.
I would say, I mean, I've always been a big Legend of Zelda fan and stuff. Anything that came out with Zelda, that would be really, really awesome for me.
All right, Zelda. Okay, Reed, what you got?
Wait, me, you said?
Yeah.
I would say Zelda, but that's pretty much, I think they're going to do it. So I would say a 2.5D Metroid.
Okay.
I'd be really happy with that.
Okay, all right. Odie, what you got?
You know what? I love all Nintendo IPs, but I want a new IP. And I think they're... I know they do stuff new with their current IPs. I mean, Mario 3D World had everything that you would be used to, but the cat mechanic added so much more to it. But we haven't seen a new IP since... Really, from Nintendo, what? I think Pikmin was the last one. Was Wonderful 101 them, or was that?
I think that was third party.
It was developed by Platinum, but Nintendo published it.
Yeah, and that's just it. I want them to come out with something new. It doesn't have to be an adult game. I don't go to Nintendo expecting an adult game. I go to Nintendo just to have fun. I have more than enough shoot dude in face games.
Right.
I'm always down to play, just a Mario Kart, something like that, but something new. Or hell, give me a new Metroid that isn't Metroid Other M.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Jess, what you got, 8-Bit?
This is a stab in the dark of all stabs in the dark.
Right on.
Eternal Darkness.
Oh, dope. Dope. Wow.
Well, wasn't that, who was that? That was Crystal Dynamics?
Yeah.
Silicon
Knights.
Silicon Knights.
Okay, Eternal Darkness, dope. All right, JP, what you got?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say I agree with some of the other choices, like Kid Icarus and a new IP.
Right.
I also want to know the release date for Bayonetta 2.
Reef, you got that right? What is it?
I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought it was August.
I think it's July.
Right, but I want a confirmation.
Okay.
August or bust.
Right.
August or bust. I'm just saying.
Espa, what do you want to see from Nintendo? One game. What do you want?
Anybody that knows me, once again, knows that I'm a ride or die with Star Fox to the day I die. And I really want to see a brand new Star Fox. Like, how many times are they going to redo Legend of Zelda? I feel you. It's a great game. Stop it. Stop it. Like, they finally coming out with a new one. Cool. Brand new game. All right, not really brand new. It's kind of a new game and kind of an old game. Fuck you. Give me a brand new Star Fox or I can fly around with this nigga. Not no one-dimensional ass tank. Not no one-dimensional ass A-swing or whatever the fuck. I want some real motherfucking shit. Star Fox, my nigga. Come on, Nintendo Direct. I want just like, hey, guess what? We do have other fucking things other than this bullshit. How about this? Star Fox.
All right, Star Fox.
Slippy or Peppy would appreciate your.
Mark.
You a motherfucking barrel roll.
That's my shit. Maybe some better voice acting. It'll be what's up.
Yeah, what you got?
I mean, everything I want ain't gonna happen. I'll tell you that right now. I want to see a new Earthbound. I would buy a Wii U for it.
Okay.
No question.
Okay.
All day long, I'd buy it.
Okay.
I also want them to. I want a new IP. Period.
Okay. Right.
I want no Mario does windsurfing. I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. And I want them to. I want them to put their stuff onto other people's consoles. I want them to get out of the hardware, but that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that's Oh man.
That would be the worst.
But while you wait, Mario walks down the street with friends.
Look, I'm not asking for like Mario GTA. I'm asking for Mario with the power of a PS4 without some taboo getting on
If the Nintendo did drop its hardware manufacturing program and focus directly on software manufacturing, like Sega did. I can totally see them becoming like quite literally the Disney of video games.
Yeah, but it won't happen. It won't happen.
It won't happen.
I mean, we can talk about it. We can talk about it until we're blue in the face.
I know, but never say never, though. I mean, I know the Japanese market; they're very they're very strict with traditions, and it's a changing time and stuff. Even in Japan,
Tony, they're still selling consoles. That was the difference between Sega and Nintendo. Sega could not sell their consoles, so they got out of the console business. Even though Nintendo's not selling Wii U's, that DS is the handheld. That DS is selling better than anything out right now.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
And not to also mention that Nintendo has an incredible amount of capital behind them and stuff. They could try to release another console or two. However, they have got to make some really serious changes and stuff that can in the consoles that they develop that will really cater towards the direction that video gamers are going worldwide and stuff, multiplayer especially. And stuff,
Okay. All right, Tony. I gotta cut you off because we're running low on time. Chris, what do you want to see from Nintendo? And what do you want to see from Nintendo? And then what do you want to see from Sony in 5 minutes?
All right, I have a cheat for 2 answers for Nintendo.
Okay. All right.
I want to see Galaxy 3. I think Galaxy is one of the absolute best games ever made, and I would love to see that continue in high definition. I want Retro to make Metroid Prime 4.
Right.
That's probably at the top of my list easily.
Okay.
From Sony, I'm actually just open. I'm one of the few people that I know that doesn't have a PS4. I threw down with Microsoft and Nintendo, and I'm pretty satisfied myself right now, but if I'm buying a PS4 right now, it's for Last of Us, and I don't really have any other reason to buy one, so I'm looking to be excited about them.
Okay. Dan, what do you want to see from Sony in a word or two?
I just want them to keep pushing.
Okay.
I'm really happy with the way that they're viewing the world of games right now.
Okay.
Really, the only reason why I'm not playing more games on my PS4 is because I know more people with Xbox Ones. Honestly.
Wow, okay.
It's a game machine for gamers. I want to see, I'm always excited for their first party stuff.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see that, but I just want to I want to see what they're going to do without Trenton.
Okay. All right. Jack, Esper Kid Goku, what do you got?
Wait, what is this for Sony?
Just in really quickly, what do you want to see from Sony tonight?
From Sony, shit, everything. Surprise me. I bought a PlayStation 4. I have 3 games for it. I have 10 games for my Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to see anything, preferably something that's going to be fun to stream, and that's about it.
Okay.
Surprise me.
Okay. JP, what do you got?
Oh, for
Sony, what do you want to see from Sony tonight?
I actually don't really care. I know that's bad to say.
I'm sort of with you.
It's really bad to say, but I'm kind of open right now. Because they did really well last year with their conference, their demonstration for E3. So I'm just hoping that this one won't be wah. That's pretty much it. I'm just open to whatever they have and hope that I'm interested enough to get a PS4.
Okay.
They have a lot riding on last year. They really do. They started a lot.
Yeah. All right. 8-Bit, what do you want to see from Sony tonight?
I'm curious as to see what Grasshopper Manufacturer is going with the PS4 actually.
Okay. All right. Odie, what do you want to see from Sony tonight?
Honestly, just something to compel me to buy the system. I kind of feel sorry for my friends that bought it because aside from third-party stuff, there really isn't much first-party. Yeah, they have indie games, but my PC can handle indie games no problem because they don't require a lot of power.
Right. Right.
I honestly don't see anything this year that would make me want to buy it. I think the earliest I'll buy is Uncharted 4, and I know they're going to show something for that because they need to show something that says to people, hey, this is it. Because much like Titanfall, Infamous came and went, and it barely made a drop in the grand scheme of things. So I'd like to see something that makes me say like, holy shit, I need to save up $400 and buy this thing.
Yeah. Sharif, what do you want to see from Sony tonight?
I want to see something from the Order that's not just graphics. I want to see something that means it's actually a good game with good mechanics.
Okay.
Not just a pretty game that plays boringly.
Like it. Tony, what do you want to see from Sony tonight?
That Last Guardian game and stuff. I've been waiting a while to get feedback on it, and it looks like it's going to be awesome.
When you say a while, do you mean since high school?
Right, absolutely. Absolutely, like at least 3 years.
I was 4 years old when they first announced it.
I was still playing Pong when they announced the Last Guardian.
Exactly. Trey, what do you want to see?
I'm ready now. I got my controller. I'm watching this on the PlayStation 4. I want to see new support for the Vita. Please don't let it die. Right. I finally started using the darn thing, so I hope. I'm not really sure they're going to do any new IPs for the Vita, but just make it a part of the conversation a little bit more. I would love a new concept for a new original IP, because they've done so well with that those first party productions.
Right.
I think they really dropped the ball by not locking up Sunset Overdrive. They were approached first for that, and they kind of dropped the ball on it.
That's infamous. I mean, Sunset Overdrive is a lush looking Infamous to me. That's what it sort of looks like.
Well, Infamous Second Son was boring.
With a bad sense of humor. That's what I was gonna say. With a sense of humor and some color.
Right. So we're like almost literally out of time right now. But I just wanted to really quickly say that, so for me, what I want to see out of Sony is I wanted to see something about Last Guardian, but I want to say this by referencing the Microsoft conference, that in the Microsoft conference, we got 8 original IP that will be released in 2014. So I would want to see something close to that from Sony, in terms of what they in terms of what's not going to happen right now. Because in terms of what we do know, we've got Drive Club, and that's it.
Well, Sony did last year. They said that they were going to have 30 new games for the PS4 that were like new IP. But what have we seen aside from some?
Yeah, and you know what? Technically, they're not lying. But yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Reef?
I said I think they were including indies. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. You're probably right.
You got to read that small print. That's what it is. You got to read the back of the brochure. You can't just read the front.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. Who was saying something?
I was going to say there's also for those new IPs, there's that buffer time where that team has to really understand how to work on PS4 for a time and stuff. Right. So it's very possible that 2015 will be the year those games come out. Right. But 2014 is early.
Yeah. So all right. So really quickly, I want to say for me, the company that stole the show, at least the beginning part of the day, is Microsoft. They came out really quickly with the Call of Duty. It was kind of ho-hum. Forza Horizon looks amazing. Forza Horizon 2 looks amazing.
That's a day one purchase for me.
Yeah. That's coming out. That's coming out this year. Evolve, which is multi-platform, that's coming out this year. AC Unity, multi-platform, coming out this year. Dragon Age, multi-platform, coming out this year.
15 seconds.
Halo. Sunset Overdrive coming out this year. Dead Rising, which wins. Sunset Overdrive wins trailer of this show for me, and then Dead Rising wins the title of the show. The title of the show, it is called the Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Alpha. That is fucking amazing.
Look, they won by the fact that I can play Akuma and just wreck shop everywhere.
They better have Rapid V.
Yeah, that shit gets all the marbles. I don't know what else to say.
Dance Central downloadable. I'm there for that. Fable Legends will be out this year. That looked actually pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. Project Spark. There's going to be Conquer. I know that 8-Bit was like, who the fuck cares, because nobody remembers you.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I was kind of talking.
No one remembers.
But yeah.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
Like
Black
Pharaoh
Forest
the Acrobat.
looks like Nintendo or Xbox's Microsoft's answer to Journey. So I mean that could be interesting. And then of course, last but not least, games that'll be out this year: Halo, Mickey Ficky, Master Chief Collection. I mean, we speculated about what that would be, but never in your wildest dreams did you actually believe that it was going to be what it is.
I do like
1080p, 60 FPS.
I do like
using the original engines.
I think the trailers are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that don't know, 100 multiplayer maps, 1080p, 60 frames per second, dedicated servers, all of the bells and whistles from all of the other games, achievement points if you still care about those. I mean, it's everything. All of those games, completely remastered for $60, available this November, and gives you access to the Halo 5 beta. This at the end of this year. To me, they knocked it out of the park.
Just a clarification: Halo 3 and 4, I think they said that they're not getting remastered. They're just
they're not remastered. But what they were saying was that the fidelity the graphic fidelity bump up to 1080p will make them look like new games.
Yeah,
so you won't be able to switch back and forth like you are with the Halo and Halo 2. Anniversary edition.
It's the same assets. It's just
exactly. So literally, in a word, give me a grade for Microsoft. Trey, what you got?
B-.
Okay, Tony, what do you got?
I give him a B+.
Okay, Reef, what do you got?
B.
Okay, Odie, what do you got?
A+ for me, man. I was blown away the whole time.
Nice. 8-bit, what do you got?
B.
JP.
B+.
Nice. Esper, are you there?
You know it.
What's
my
your
loud
grade?
ass at work.
what's your grade for Microsoft? One word.
I give it a A++ with a gold star.
All right.
That fucking Master Chief shit blew my socks off, and he comes with all this extra bells and whistles. Shit, I thought my jaw dropped when the dude fucking arm fell off.
That's more than one word. Dan,
I got a counting problem. My bad.
Dan, what do you got?
I give it 5 out of 5 Halos.
All right.
Nice.
Chris.
Awesome.
Solid A.
All right. All right. Well, we ran long as we were wont to do at Spawn on Me. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, thank you very much for taking a look and paying attention. Make sure you check out Spawn on Me on Mondays and the Spawn Point blog, and follow me on Twitter at StubbyStan. I want to thank everyone for coming. And for everyone for participating. Before we leave, I want to give everybody a chance to say who they are and where we can follow them. Chris, why don't you give it a shot? Go ahead and start it off.
Just Chris at Chris Clow on Twitter. I write things regularly at geeknationandmovies.com.
All right, and Dan.
Yeah, you can find me at Danimus with the Roman U. And YouTube, I'm Danimus with the Roman U Prime.
Nice. Like your logo, by the way.
Thanks, I worked hard on
it. Esper Kid Goku.
Yep, this is Esper Kid Goku. You can find me on Twitter at Esper Kid Goku, and pretty much everywhere at Esper Kid Goku. That's kind of my handle. Yeah, I do this.
JP?
You can find me at either Operation Cubicle or at Nagaps Noir Network, nagapsnoir.net. You can find me on Twitter at Isotus.
All right. And Justin?
You can find me on Twitter at 8BitAnimal. That's the number 8, BIT Animal. You can check out my blog, The Digitized Ramblings of an 8-Bit Animal, at 8bitanimal.com. I'm currently in the 3rd year of the summer of 8-Bit. So every day I do a game. I do a short video review on an NES game off of that shelf. Today I did one on Breakthrough from Data East.
Nice. I remember that game. Odie, where can the people follow you?
Much like Esper, I'm at Unanimous at pretty much everything. PlayStation, Xbox Live, and on Twitter. If you don't know how to spell that, just if you follow Stubby Stan, I'm one of his followers. It's YOUNANOMOUS. That cough in the background is my dog. Is an old man.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, yeah, somebody's dog's about to die. You better take care of that. Sharif, where can we find you?
You can find me basically at Sharif Jackson anywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Google+. Find me at OperationCubicle.net, where JP Fairfield and I talk about corporate life, and the Rhyme Right podcast, where we talk about hip-hop, and the science blog at SharifJackson.com. Shook it.
There it is. Tony, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Tony Powell at Philosophy. That's philosophy, but without the HY, just put a LAY at the very end of philosophy. And you can find me on YouTube with my YouTube channel is Philosophy as well, and on Facebook it's Philosophy as well.
All right, and last but not least, Trey. Where can we find you?
I am Trey Andrea Rustworm, and I am at Professor TMR on Twitter. And I won't say anything else because Sony's press conference has started.
Yeah. How is it so far?
It's just I don't know if this is Mass Effect. It looks
think
like
it's Destiny.
Oh,
it's just Destiny trailer.
Right.
Okay.
Fake Halo assets. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for coming and hanging out with us. You know what? I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast too. I hope you guys had a blast watching it. Maybe we can do this again. Maybe we can, if people liked it, maybe we can come back at the end of the week when we're not pressed for time and kind of assess the entire week.
Right on.
Oh, hells yeah. Just a whole E3 thing.
All right. So, like we do at the end of Spawn on Me, we say peace. Peace.
Later.